Welcome to the Rich Coded Podcast. This is the podcast for rebel baddie leaders who are done self-editing and ready to create safety in their bodies, to trust their own codes, become the fully expressed leader, and bring their next edge body of work and magnetic movement to life. I'm your host, Kelly Pender, speaker, mama, and creator of Tap and Twerk. In our world, we don't follow anyone else's rules. Your greatest wealth, visibility, and impact begin the moment you stop editing who you are. Let's get rich coded, you big fucking deal. I'm so excited. Conscious cannabis queen, Hannah Elrose, on the pod today. I have been so excited to have you as a guest on this podcast because we're diving in deep, baby. We're clearing shame. We're going balls to the wall with our souls, gifts, mission, message, and movement. And you are just the one and only to share this. I'm so excited to have you on the pod today with us.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm so stoked to be here. How divine.
This is going to be amazing. Okay, so I met you on Instagram, and we actually met through listening to a podcast through a mutual friend. Yeah.
We were both guests on the podcast.
Okay. I love that. I was like, there's an origin story and I forget. Okay, amazing. And then we were just kind of like hanging out in the DMs, talking back and forth. Yeah. And then you became one of our intensive clients. And I was like, listen, what you want to birth, we need, the world needs. And I just want to dive right into it and talk about how you felt so much shame around this one thing in particular. And now you have birthed and are leading an entire movement and brand around this. And I'm so fucking proud of you because most women have this deep desire and this vision to birth and lead their movement, but we hold back because what are people going to think? I feel shame around it. This person told me it's shameful. I've never seen anyone else lead this way or do this. And you gave yourself permission, and I just want to dive into it. Let's go there.
Let's go there. Yes. Conscious Cannabis Queen has been a journey. Cannabis is what I'm here to be a steward of in this lifetime, at least for this chapter that I'm in, because it has been monumental for my embodiment journey and for returning home to my body, for restoring self-trust, for releasing pressure and fear and shame from my body. And it was so impactful for me that we stopped in Amsterdam on my honeymoon. It was our last stop, and we went to one of the coffee shops. And I was like, oh my gosh, a safe space to commune with this medicine that I already love so much. And it's normal here, and nobody feels shame, and everyone's just chill. Like, this is the vibration I want to be in. This is what I believe in. And it was on that trip that the seed was planted for Sacred Flower Vibes, which is my company. And we've been on a journey of embracing the mission for probably 3 years now. And it's been a big journey, a lot of spirals of self-trust and self-doubt and shame and isolation and all of the things. And I feel like right now, as we speak, I am very much in my next level. I feel very safe as this medicine woman, as this spokesperson, which I didn't feel at another time. And so it's proof that the work that I am doing and the beautiful people that I'm learning from is all supporting me in being able to lead this mission that I know is here to support a lot of people.
Yes. Oh, I love this so much. So I want to dive into, and we're going to go deeper into conscious cannabis, of course, because I love it. I want to dive into how you felt the shame and then how you allowed yourself to process it and not, I don't want to say clear it, but to alchemize it so that you can move forward, birthing and leading your movement. What did that look like for you?
What's coming up now is the cyclical feeling of coming up against an edge where it literally feels like I cannot move because of constriction, For me, it was a lot of fear of judgment, specifically from my family. Because I'm in my hometown, I see my family, they follow me on the internet. I was living with my mom for a lot of the building of this. And so just the differences in belief systems and truly what it is it's just light is information and darkness is lack of information. And so people who don't understand what I'm talking about are just lacking information, whether that's an embodied experience or scientific knowledge or whatever. Yes. Can you bring me back?
Yeah. So, I love this. It is lacking information. So you felt shame, and it was mainly associated with judgment from your family. And this is where most people hang out. They hang out in this shame. They hang out in this judgment, potential judgment, and then we play it safe in our content. We play it safe in our message, in our movement, and we don't fully allow the potency of, like you said, your medicine to be seen and to embody that leadership. So I kind of like to call it like a shame chokehold, right?
Yes.
Where it starts to really just take so much power over you. How did you begin to release yourself from that shame chokehold?
Yes. So specifically, a couple things at the end of last year around the holiday season. It's like the amount of holding self back from the mission became so suffocating and so exhausting and so frustrating that I knew I needed to make a change in my 3D to support me so that I can do this. And so for me, I ended up blocking a couple people, and that gave me freedom to be myself on the internet. And within that move, I like doubled my Instagram following. I had a reel that went semi-viral. It's since gotten taken down because I got banned on 420, but it's fine. Comeback story.
It's fine.
But for me, truly, like that is something I know I went through the embodiment of that to give people permission to create separation for yourself so that you can truly own who you are, especially if you don't realize how enmeshed your identity and your nervous system patterns are with your family. Specifically, it was two people in my family. It was like anytime I wanted to make a post, I thought about what they would think of me and I would stop myself. And that was suffocating, and it was keeping me stuck, and it was keeping my medicine, my answered prayer from getting out there. And I could feel the bigness of that. So for me, that was a huge piece. And I think also just all the work that we do in Sacred Flower Vibes and in my Elevate membership, it's using cannabis to be with sensations in the body, be with discomfort, be with emotions that want to move through. Because for me, my pattern has been avoidance. I mean, all of us, like we repress, we suppress, we do not touch the things that feel really uncomfortable. And that is also part of the chokehold. It's the body resisting flowing and resisting letting go. We're just constricted and silent. And it's part of a much larger archetype of like the silenced woman and the silenced witch and all of the things that we're feeling in our bodies now. And we are now being like, people are coming up and out so that we can support people in moving through this in an embodied way. Because for me, it's like the body is the blueprint that's being printed out into our 3D. And so if there's tension and constriction in our body, there's tension and constriction in our life.
Yes. Oof. Dropping truth bombs. Okay. I want to dive into this. Two very important things. First thing is that you decided to block people. And I love that because there's so much online where it's like, who cares about people from high school and family and whatnot? But also to me, there's so much power in making a decision that this person's presence in my field is restricting me and silencing me and having me filter and edit myself. So I'm going to decide to have the standard that I don't want their presence in my field and in my social media. And I think that's fucking incredible to just block them.
And I will say, like, it's also an initiation in not letting other people's feelings affect your decision making. And I knew that it would get around that certain people were blocked. And when someone confronted me about it, I was able to be in a very neutral place. Because at that point I had unblocked the person, because I had gone through that initiatory, like, coming out, if you will. And I felt safe enough and in flow enough that I could be seen again, specifically by this person. But when that person approached me, I was able to practice such neutrality, because their trigger is not my problem. And I am honoring myself, and I'm allowing these decisions that feel true and right for me to affect everyone how they need to, because we all get to be on this journey together. And there's just a lot of opportunity for growth for everyone involved.
Yes. I love this. And again, that you made that decision. This is what I need to do. Although other people would say not to do it and to just deal with it. And you made that decision. And from there, you were able to find yourself, find your voice, stay in your own frequency, build from there. And yeah, when they came to you in person, they were probably like, did you block me? You were able to feel really solid in that instead of, well, and then feeling like you had to explain yourself.
Totally. 100%.
I love that. That is so important. Okay. Second piece, I want to hear about how you use conscious cannabis to get in the body, to connect to yourself, to connect to source, and to move forward, leading your movement, your mission, your message. Because this is just so powerful to me. And I know, and this is why when you came into my field, I was like, the world needs you.
Yeah. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I think if people knew how often the people that we're looking maybe up to or we're being expanded by have been using plant medicine, like maybe on the hush hush, like a lot of people do feel shame about it, but so many people are utilizing these powerful medicines to help us restore this human from all of the junk, be it physical or mental or emotional, that is not serving us. So when I got out of eating disorder recovery, I was in treatment after a 10-year battle with bulimia. I literally Googled, how do I get to know myself? Because I was so severed from my soul.
Yep.
Hence the suffering, right? And the coping with the suffering, that I didn't know who the F I was. And so I went on a little bit of a journey, but it wasn't until my now husband came into my life and I started to feel numbness where there should have been, should is not the right word, but where I knew I wanted and there could be love and acceptance. I knew that something was up with my system, and I hadn't yet learned anything about the nervous system or this was the beginning of that kind of awakening, was, oh, my body and my nervous system are stuck and repeating the old patterns. So even though my circumstances have changed, my body, my thoughts, my beliefs are still in the past. Yeah. At the time, I was dabbling with cannabis as just something to feel good. And it was a lot more unconscious in the past. But once I recovered from my eating disorder and I reconnected, I had this very specific moment with a beautiful, strong edible. And I felt myself within my being for the first time. I felt my inner monologue present. I felt like all of me was within my body. And I had never felt that way, or at least in a really, really, really long time had I felt like, oh, there I am. Oh, hey, like, I'm here and I'm not living out here outside of my body like I'm so used to. And so I remember writing down, heaven is now. Heaven, that's what I wrote. Heaven is presence. And what cannabis was helping me do was get out of my chronic fight or flight, my memorized problem frequency, into deep peace and alignment and coherence and nowness. I said, I think we're all supposed to be present. I think we're all supposed to feel this way. And none of us do, at least no one that was in my field of awareness. So that begins my spiritual journey. I start meditation, but I don't really know what meditation is. But what I do know is that when I am with this plant, I enter an altered state. I feel that in my body. And what started to happen for me was very quickly I would realize that as soon as I was dropping into maybe a presence state or an altered state, my nervous system, my body would flee from the moment, because that presence was very scary to a body that was not used to that. I mean, there's so much power available, right? So if the nervous system is not ready for that, it will flee. And so I found that my journey has really been about helping my body feel safe being present. Yeah. And so I would utilize cannabis and just feel how it brought all of my scattered, fractaled thoughts down and just into presence. Mm-hmm. And I have used that to track how my body has moved from a state of chronic dysregulation. And I now, like, I had a chat this morning with a friend and I said, I really truly feel like I'm just at this beautiful presence, this safety in presence. I can stay in presence longer. That presence is God. Presence is divinity. Presence is where we remember who the F we are. And everything in this world wants us to not be present. It's so obvious. So how are we reclaiming our sovereignty? For me, I don't watch Netflix. What I do is I go smoke a joint, I turn on epic music, and I breathe and move and do fascia work, and I stretch and I sing, because I want to feel me and I want to feel alive. And that is what has brought me the closest. And I don't believe cannabis is for everyone. I have no idea if it's with me for life. But for right now, it truly has absolutely altered my life. And I am showing people through this membership and inviting other incredible conscious cannabis queens to experience the magic of intentional use with this ancient plant medicine that our ancestors work with. Every single religion has worked with this plant, because it offers us a glimpse into the now, into presence, into love, which is available at all times. However, we have to tune our human to that frequency.
I love this so much. It truly is presence. And I mean, I agree with you. And I even shared with you when we did Tap and Twerk in your Elevate membership, I was like, guys, I use cannabis, I smoke, and that's how I connect to my quantum self, right? And I know that society has programmed shame around this, and I have my whole belief system with that. But to me, this is a plant medicine that does connect you to your higher self, which is source, which is your power. And society has programmed us to not be in our power, because I don't want to say they, but this is just how I feel. They're afraid of us being powerful women. And so that's why there's been this program shame around cannabis, when really I don't believe in program shame, right? Yeah. I believe in what feels good to you, what feels good to me. And to me, that's connecting to your higher self, quantum self, source, God, universe. And I feel that cannabis is the way to do that. And I love this. And this is why I wanted to have you on the podcast, because whenever anyone feels shame, it's like, I want you to ask yourself, is this actually my shame? Am I ashamed of this? Or is this my mom's shame? Is this my dad's shame? Is this my partner's shame? Is this my best friend's shame? Right? And when you see who it belongs to, it's like, oh, I've just been subscribing to someone else's shame. How do I actually feel about this? And I feel like you're, the perfect leader of that, because I know that you teach that in your body of work and in your membership, because the through line is coming back home to yourself.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. Shame is the lowest frequency on earth. And call them they, whatever. We have been disempowered. And I believe in this lifetime, the feminine is here to remember its power so we can come back into balance. And cannabis is a feminine plant. I think presence and what cannabis offers us is the rebalancing.
Exactly. Yeah. I love this. It's like, why not open yourself up to something that you once dismissed because society implanted shame around it?
Well, and it's like the government, smear campaign. Like, we're really trusting the government's word on this? Like, even these days? Like, let's think for ourselves. Let's have autonomy of our thoughts, and this is where I think, I mean, I wasn't letting myself see how big this is, but this morning I wrote a text that said, oh, what if my TED Talk is actually a paradigm shifting conversation and a policy changing conversation? Because I can speak so viscerally to how it has changed my life and brought me back to life and in tune with what I'm here to do.
Yes. It's big.
Mm-hmm. And that was so scary. That was so scary for my human who has shrunk herself for so long out of safety, protected herself. Don't shine too bright. Like, if I don't go for it, then I don't get hurt. So much self-protection. Yeah. That it has been a journey. And I think there are those thoughts for sure of like, is this my shame? Is this societal shame? And what it's 3D action. It's showing up in a new way. For me, I have this rainbow hemp shirt, and I was feeling the visceralness of my shame about who I am. And I said, well, you know what I can do to transform this, to pattern interrupt? I can wear that rainbow hemp shirt and walk around my hometown and be okay with anyone who is looking at me or judging me for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. And that is an embodied experience of owning who I am. And that transforms shame. That alchemizes shame. Mm.
Can we talk about the pattern interrupt?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we pattern interrupt when we feel that familiar feeling of shame, of overwhelm, of avoidance, of am I too much, right?
Yeah.
And remember, we spoke about that a lot.
Totally.
It's the pattern interrupt.
Yep. For me, I've really been pattern interrupting urgency in my body, because that is totally a pattern. Like, gotta do that quick, or have the idea, gotta go. But the soul is not in a rush. Like, yes, there is, like, it's go time for sure for all of us as we are shifting the consciousness of this planet. And at the same time, we're embodying the feminine frequency of flow and trust and surrender in this grounded, like, strong masculine structure that we're also integrating for ourselves.
Yes. I love this. So you mentioned that, and I love this, you mentioned that you believe that cannabis isn't for everyone. I want to hear more about that, because I know that you obviously are the conscious cannabis queen. Mm-hmm. But even hearing you say that to me is just acceptance, right? That to me is not, this is the way. And
Correct.
So I want to hear more about that from you, because you just beautifully kind of snuck that in. And I want to pull that out, because our listeners, maybe they don't ever want to use cannabis, right? Or maybe they're like flirting with the idea or whatever it may be. So I want to hear more about that.
Yes. I mean, I say that, I think part of that, as you were speaking, I was like, is this just a protection? Like, so that people don't feel any certain way? But the reality is, I do not think it is for everyone. Just like iboga or ayahuasca is not for everyone. And I also think what's so important about this shifting from the guru era to the like sovereignty and self-realization era is, like, for me, it hasn't been one thing that has totally shifted me. It's been a ton of tools that I am integrating on my own, or that I'm receiving in other programs. And also, there are people who have utilized cannabis and have had adverse reactions. Like, obviously their body is telling them it's not for them. I will make a very clear discernment. There is, like, the body is reacting as if this thing is toxic, 100%. And then there's the people who are like, well, it's not for me because it makes me anxious. Correct. She is an amplifier of what's happening in your internal world. She is showing you what get to work on if you want, because this is what's underlying everything. I believe she's helping us drop into more of the subconscious awareness. This feeling that you feel, whether it's paranoia or shame or anxiety, is here for you to witness and move through if you so choose. So the people who say it's not for them because of anxiety, it might be even more so for you because she speaks to you clearly. And if you want support working with this medicine, obviously you can reach out to me and we can do some things. But every body is different. I have this hat that my sister got me when I got out of recovery, and it said, don't let me forget it. Every body, let's say it's something like every body is perfect. Every body is perfectly designed. If you believe in God, how are you missing the fact that you are perfectly designed? And when we start to learn how to listen to our body, for me, I had to literally relearn how to eat. I had to learn what a hunger cue was, what a fullness cue was. So many of us are dissociated, especially from the hunger cues, which is like the most basic instinct that we have that they effed up through the programming. But when we do retune to the subtle information like that, we start to really feel, oh, my body likes this. Oh, my body doesn't like this. Great. I trust myself unconditionally. I don't trust what someone tells me works for them. I'm happy to try if it resonates, but I trust myself. I trust my body. Thank you, body, for showing me what you need.
Yes. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. And I love that you said she's the greatest amplifier. Because something just broke through for me when you were sharing about the paranoia. When this was like forever ago, but when I first smoked for like the first time in my life, so paranoid. And I didn't realize it until you just said that. It's because at that point in my life, I was so worried about what other people thought about me. So of course it wasn't safe for me to be out of control, to just go with the flow, to just laugh, say what the fuck I wanted to say. So of course I felt paranoid because I didn't feel safe being fully expressed as me.
Totally. 100%.
It makes so much sense. So really I'm speaking for myself. My body wasn't rejecting it. My mind was.
Yep. Yeah. And I think like we learn on this beautiful spiritual journey is like lean into the discomfort, lean into the trigger, lean in because there's gold there for you.
Yep.
But it does take bravery. And I think that's why community is so important, because you can be around people who are also having courage and they're not sitting back and letting their parents' judgment keep them from expressing themselves or whatever it is. We need to be around people that are fully expressed, because that is where freedom is. That's where liberation is. That's where prosperity is. That's where heaven on earth is. It lives in your liberation.
Girl, dropping nuggets of wisdom. Okay, so I want to talk about how you set new boundaries, you blocked some people, you let yourself just go all in on creating content your way. Obviously, some old familiar feelings in the body come up, and shame and self-worth continues to come up, and that's okay. We have different levels of clearing and processing. However, I feel like your membership, when you birthed that, was like your true coming out party. And I want to hear about that, because when you and I were working together, you were like, this has been on my heart for years. And I was like, let's fucking do it. Let's go all in. Let's birth your membership. So I want to hear how you took this vision, this mission on your heart for years, and you actually allowed yourself to birth it.
It has been a journey. And I will say, yes, this year, we're in a 1 year numerologically, feeling the one energy.
Yes.
I think it is. Which is funny, as I started like kind of tracking numerology last year and like the 9 was completing, I was like, I feel all of it. The snake shedding, I feel all of it. Oh my God, next year's got to be better, right? And it is, because there's no rushing this hero's journey that we're on. And for me, I've said, it's been these cycles of like dipping into low self-worth and just seeing where I have room to believe in myself more, trust myself more. Like that is the journey. So by divine intelligence, it was a perfect storm of, I had just gone to a retreat where I got to do a work exchange. And so financially, I was supported in that way. And finance is a whole other thing. I mean, we're talking about rich coded. I love it. And I'm so excited to continue on this wealth journey. And what I was afforded during this ceremony was a truly dropping in of like, I have no question about what I'm here to do. Some people at this retreat were there to figure out what they're here to do. I said, I know what I'm here to do, and I feel at peace about it. And that was the first time I had felt peace about it. And I really spent the time embodying that fully. And then right when I got home, I had already launched this. So just like the perfect timing of it all, I had launched a 2-week Elevate immersion, which is where I invited you to come in and share your Tap and Twerk movement. Okay, Tap and Twerk tour coming through to the Elevate immersion. And I brought and embodied my high priestess energy. Truly is what I felt like I activated in that retreat space, was like being a guide, being a space holder. And I really got to embody that through this challenge. I attracted some really cool people, and we started what would then become the group of the membership. And so after that, obviously you and our energy, you and I, was culminating even more. And when I heard about your immersion, I said, I need to do this. I know in my heart that this is meant for me. And you specifically, you do many things, but I know that being a having your 5-figure fame offer and all of these things is your thing. And I was like, but I actually think I want to do a membership. Like, would it be cool? Like, if we work together, could we focus on like a low ticket membership? And you were like, yes, it's all about doing it your way. What do you want to do? And I was like, okay, great. Let's go. Let's sign up. Had to get resourceful, and everything worked out. And it was being in your presence. You're someone who walks the walk that you talk, and your energy is so grounding and uplifting. And you helped me see my potential and my capacity to be able to do this thing. And something I've really been learning about myself since then, but a lot this week, is just like allowing other people to be part of my growth, versus thinking, for me, for so long in so many aspects of my life, it's all on me. I'm holding it all together. Only I can do this, right? And that's absolutely exhausting. And what happens when you allow mentors into your life is they reflect and activate codes within you that are already here, but you haven't been accessing them because you've been in your own mental spiral, because we're not meant to do this alone. And so working with you and truly having like deadlines. And at the time we worked together, I had like the craziest schedule I've ever had. And I was like, well, I got to make it work. So I was getting up at 5 and I was going to bed at 1. And I was like, this actually feels cool because I'm excited by this. And I knew that our time was limited. So it was like the perfect pressure cooker in a sense, because my energy kind of needs that. Like, deadlines are really important for me. And also accountability of someone else is very important for me. So all of those pieces together, it was like, this is the time to birth this thing. Summer, cosmologically, there's so much happening. And here we are. I've just gotten like my, I think, second set or first set of recurring revenue, which feels really, really cool. And I do find myself often like, you can really beat yourself up maybe about where you're at, but I just keep reminding myself, I'm building the foundation of something massive, that you don't rush this. You trust that the people are coming in, the systems are being put in place. We're not going to rush it and beat ourselves up if like a piece of content isn't doing great, or if only this amount of people sign up for whatever. It's like, the foundation is being laid for something life-changing and world-altering. And so I trust the process. I trust myself unconditionally, and I can release any pressure or fear or worry that maybe my 3D circumstances could have me make. But like, this is the sovereignty of choosing your frequency and having these tools to shift your frequency. Again, not that a lower frequency is bad, but that we get to integrate and alchemize and elevate over and over and over again.
So fucking powerful. So beautiful. That timing was amazing. And it's so funny because I don't normally do a pressure cooker, but I could tell with your energy that that's what you needed.
Yeah.
And that lit the fire under your booty. And look at you now. Right? You open up your membership. There's so many women in. And I love what you said about, you know, like not letting the external basically fuck you up.
Yeah.
Can I share what you messaged me right after you opened up the membership?
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
Because I'm like, so many women will relate to this. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So right after you did which is like, you know, in business terms in the world, it was like you did a launch and opened up the doors, right?
Yeah.
And so once you finished your magical ceremony, which I knew it would be, you messaged me, you told me about it, and then you were like, okay, but no one has signed up yet. And then the first thing you said was, I think I need to work on my pitching skills. And I was like, girl, you don't need to work on your pitching skills. You need to stay plugged into the fucking feeling of you open up your membership, there's women coming in even without seeing evidence. And literally what, like an hour later?
Yes.
Not even an hour later, you were like, first person in and VIP upgrade. Fuck yes.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. It was such an embodied, important experience. And you walked me through that, truly having like your voice around through those moments, those threshold moments, because it is so easy to pull the plug on our own mission and movement if we're not in support and in sisterhood and in community. I literally I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you walking me through that period.
Yeah, that was incredible. And the thing is, and you're welcome, I receive. The thing is, we're human. Why do we want to pull the plug? Because we feel in control, already deciding it's not working before facing the possibility of it not working. That's the only fucking reason we pull the energetic plug, because it makes us feel in control.
Which is attachment to one singular outcome out of infinite outcomes. It's insane. But it's the negativity bias of this cute little brain we have.
Yeah, it's so cute. Until we pattern interrupt and it's like, no, I'm going to choose to keep me plugged all the way the fuck in to my vision, to my movement. And that is what I'm actually in control of.
Absolutely.
I may not know the exact outcome, but I know what I want. I know what I desire. And I'm going to continue to be in that frequency. I'm going to continue to take action and move as her and identify as her. And I think you had doors open for a week. And I remember your human came in, right? She came online. We talked to her and we just chose to keep plugging in every single fucking day during that week long, doors open. And I remember when you messaged me, again, it was like a few hours before doors were closing. Not even, it was like 6 hours. And I remember your human was like, doors are closing. And I was like, you have 6 fucking hours. So much can happen in 6 hours. And I remember whatever I said, it just shifted something and you went balls to the wall in those last 6 hours. So many more people came in. And then I remember you messaged me that night and you were like, double digits. There's so many more women came in. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that that's what you teach. And I continue to remind myself, it's what is the frequency I am holding? How am I seeing myself? How am I valuing this membership? And I will say that's like where my deepest shadows come up, is that I forget how valuable this is. I make it about me and I forget that this isn't about me at all. I'm the conduit for this space. I am a community builder. I'm a space holder. I'm not here to be a guru. And my remembering and embodying of the value of this is the frequency, is the signal that people feel when they come across my brand, my page, my content. And it feels so good to know that that is what I can control. And that is all I need to put my focus and my awareness on, is my internal state and pumping myself up. And it's like, nobody's going to do it but you. And so join Kelly's free Telegram, have access to these resources that are so helpful. Come over to Elevate, get a retuning, a remembrance of, because it's always there. The frequency of your remembering is always there, but we're dipping in and out of it because we are human. And it's like, how quickly can we shift back into our new and elevated baseline so that we don't have to keep dropping, as often or as deeply. Obviously that's for life and God and the universe to decide, but we do have the sovereignty to do what we need to do to get our frequency back on track. And sometimes that is go experience the visceralness of forgetting for a little bit, because then you can speak to your clients about that and help them not feel so alone. Because I think also the destruction sometimes in the social media landscape of these spiritual guides is like, they're not sharing their shadows. And so you think you're broken if you can't seem to get your whole human on board like they just seemed to be able to do. So these visceral experiences of forgetting, I take them as sacred, and I do my best to just trust that I'll get back to the frequency that I want to be in. And this is also important for me too. Like, I'm not going to bypass any of this integration.
Yes. And this is what I love about you and what the world needs. And I've met so many of your women inside your Elevate membership, and they're just like enthralled and they're just in it. And I see them quite literally shifting, expanding, growing their businesses, their lives. And it's because you're the living, breathing embodiment.
Yeah.
And because you allowed yourself to birth this vision, this movement, this brand your way. And I love that you don't put yourself on a pedestal, right? And you know me, I don't do that either. I share the human. I want to see the fucking human. I want to see how you led yourself through that, how you got there. And you're very open and vulnerable about that. And I know that's why your women are like, I want to be led by you. I want to be in your world.
Yes.
Which is everything. And you're fucking doing it. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
To the moon we go. Okay.
Amen.
So is there anything coming through you that wants to be channeled through you to any of our listeners who feel like where you were, where you had something big, your vision, your mission, your movement on your heart, and you weren't allowing the world to see it? Is there anything coming through that you want to share with our listeners who are in a similar situation or experience of life?
My first thought is get into your body because I think a lot of stuckness exists and a lot of suffering exists because we are stuck in our mind and we're forgetting that presence is the answer. Is the dropping out of the mind and into the body, and whatever that means for you, if it's going on a walk, if it's stretching, if it's yoga, this returning home to the body, which is our vessel for this lifetime. And I believe for many women, like this is our homecoming in this lifetime, is this returning to the original gift of creation. Like we are all creators, and we get to come home to this body and then channel our energy into what our soul is asking. But for me, really allowing myself to drop out of the overthinking and find these tools like fascia work, like breath work, where I am resensitizing the aliveness in my body. From there, I actually have energy and I actually have inspiration and I actually feel connected to my heart. But when I am stuck in overthinking, and for me, it's like I could feel how big this mission was. So I was like, okay, well, then I need this person's strategy and I need this person's advice about this because I don't trust myself because I've never done business before. But you know what is the most important thing? Is to get right with you. Like get right with you first. And that I think it hopefully is a gap that I can close for people. That was like at least 2 years of my life was that, living that gap. That's what I have.
Get right with you first.
Get right with you first.
I love that. That was so beautiful. And listeners, did you hear that? Get right with you first. It's like you don't need anything outside of you to then decide it's working, to then decide you're allowed to be successful, to then decide you're allowed to go there. It's like get in your body, get right with you first. As you said, give yourself permission. And I truly feel, and I know you feel the same, the people who are meant to support you along that path, they will come into your field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when you release the false belief that you are here alone. You're not here alone. The entire world, the universe, life itself is conspiring in your favor. And if you release the control and the belief that it's all on me, then there's spaciousness for your support to come right on in, right when you need it.
I love this. There were so many golden nuggets of wisdom in this entire episode. I cannot wait to listen back. Tell us where we can find you, how we can work with you, all of the things.
Yes, find me on Instagram at Hannah Gray Elrose. I do a monthly sacred flower ceremony in my membership called Elevate. It is a sacred sisterhood for 420 friendly light workers, a lot of powerful healers, a lot of global leaders. We're all coming together and we're all in this era of coming into our gifts and coming into our genius and really owning what we're here to do. And so we'd love to have you there over in the Elevate membership.
Amazing. Okay. I'll be dropping your Instagram in the show notes, your website to join Elevate. thank you so much for being here, for being on the pod, for sharing your magic, your medicine, your wisdom with the world. I'm so grateful and appreciative and just so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you.
Mwah. If you love this episode as much as I did, please take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, tag at I am rich coded so I can feature you to our network and spread the ripple effect of giving other women the permission slip to birth their vision and movement and to bring it to life their fucking way. And I have a super special gift for you, our Rich Coded Hypnosis to rewire your mind and body in your sleep to create safety to 10x your visibility and your income. When you give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, take a screenshot, send it to me, and I'll send you the hypnosis as a gift. And remember, you're a big fucking deal.